international event is now on dotaboom.gg. Special cases, exclusive skins, and a nice atmosphere of the main tournament of the year are waiting for you. Get 50 cents for signing up and open a case for free. Or try your luck with a multicast case and get a chance to grab 4 skins in one go. And here's what's important, the probably fair system makes sure all the results are fair and square. And by the way, every day, 20 of the most active users will share skins worth $90. And once a week, the most active Dota 2 players will receive exclusive sets and arcana items worth over 300. If that's not enough for you, then when you reach level 5, you'll be able to open free daily cases every day. And the higher your level is, the more cases you'll be able to open. So hurry up, use this promo code and get a bonus of 5% on your deposit, free coins and a free case. And the first 100 new users will also get 50 cents for registering. So don't waste your time, click the link in the description, activate the promo code, grab your bonuses, and then come back and continue watching the video.
Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Pantless Speed here, not that you would know. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Warlock game I played at TI. This is the game that unfortunately eliminated me from the event, but it was a very, very good game against PVISION. I think a lot of people were very impressed by our team's gameplay against PVISION, you know, a top team. I certainly was. Let's break it down. I'm going to do a quick draft analysis. Not going to say obviously too much. Got to keep secrets of Wildcard Gaming, the best team in the world. Let's get into it. So, couple things, pretty basic bans. We're banning Naga on first pick, Beastmaster, Broken Flex Hero, Phoenix. That's kind of one of DM's best heroes. Monkey King, the 9 class special. And then they go for a Disruptor, Night Stalker, and then a Gyro ban to protect the Enigma. Our response to Enigma is Dawnbreaker, which we planned on flexing to the Enigma lane. Basically, Dawnbreaker lanes pretty well into Enigma. You kill the Eidolons very effectively with your Q, and even with your W to some extent. And on top of that, in the mid game, you're a very natural response to Enigma's Black Hole, because your ulti is a BKB Pierce. And also, Enigma is just a pretty gankable hero in general. And so, Dawn is just like kind of good against this hero, like period. Okay, we ban out the Silencer to protect the Dawn. It's just global against Silencer ulti, nothing special. They ban out TB and Pugna. A little bit surprised about the Pugna ban. I mean, I had some good games on that hero, but like at the end of the day, I felt that Enigma's like pretty good against Pugna. Maybe he disagrees. I guess Eidolon damage, stuff like that. I don't know. Perhaps they're just worried about the general tempo of Pugna. It is a pretty good hero with Dawnbreaker. It's a very, very high tempo. You can play super fast, kill buildings. With Pugna, and like the Pugna can be backed up by Dawnbreaker ulti, unironically. It's very good. We go for the Tusk here. Again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's just a pairing with Dawnbreaker. Tag team works with Dawnbreaker's Q. Nothing too special there. They respond with Zeus, also pretty basic pick here if you don't understand why. It's very good against Dawn Tusk in lane because both these heroes are strength and high HP. Zeus does percentage-based damage. Zeus also has a way to get out of tag team with Heavenly Jump and a way to cancel Dawn Q with Lightning Bolt. So it's actually a very, very good Zeus lane. That's why they're picking it here. Oh, by the way, the TB ban, it's like pretty good against Enigma. It's also a hero we were picking a bunch. It just like kills Eidolons like reasonably well. It's not the best, but it's okay. They go for a Marcy here, which, you know, a lot of the time they would go for Slark. I don't know exactly why they're going for Marcy. I would say the main guess I would have that seems very reasonable is it's pretty good against Donald. You can pull people out of it. It's okay against Tusk. An interesting interaction there is Marcy cannot pick allies up with the pick-me-up facet if they are punched by Tusk. It just doesn't work. So you got to be careful. Maybe they didn't even know that. It's definitely possible. And then it's also just a very good lane with Enigma. You know, Marcy, Enigma, very, very strong. You just pull them into Eidolons. So, yeah, nothing too crazy again. We go for a Void Spirit here. I think this was a pretty Chad pick because we didn't even see the matchup at the time. It's kind of, maybe it's even a misrating of heroes. I would say if like we were truly meta here, we would maybe go for something like Sand King, but whatever. It's just tempo. It's going to be a hero that plays well with tag team. These heroes have a lot of synergy. It's easy for them to kill people together. And then it's also going to be more set up for the Dawnbreaker. So we're just kind of setting up to have a high tempo comp, just be able to play the map very aggressively, very fast. And that's also why we were debating on my pick here. There was a couple options we thought about. We thought about going for the Chen. It's pretty good. We can lane it into the Zeus and mana burn Zeus, very effective. Even against Marcy in the mid game, I actually like playing Chen. It's not so good in the lane because she wave drags, but in the mid game, she's all physical damage. It's pretty good against her ult. Even against Enigma, like if someone gets Black Hole, it's very straightforward for Chen on who to try to save, right? So I don't mind that matchup. You can also convert Eidolons, which is pretty solid. It's not the best. I think it's worse. It's like less impactful than people think, but it's definitely solid. Okay, we go for the Warlock, which I suggested here. There's a couple of reasons why I like Warlock. Number one, it's another black hole cancel, which is very practical. It's fine to have 2 through BKB. I think he ends up not even really getting there very early, but it's nice because Dawnbreaker doesn't always just want to wait for Enigma black hole. Typically, Dawnbreaker actually wants to ult immediately in fights, and so having a backup one is pretty nice for sure. But there's other reasons too. We want to play very fast this game. You can tell by these 3 heroes. Warlock is one of the fastest paced subs in the game. He has healing, low cooldown nukes, and his ulti is one of the highest tempo abilities in the game. It is one of the best 6 spikes. And with Black Grimoire, you can be hitting that at level at minute 7, minute 8. We thought about the Chen, as I was mentioning, but I do feel that sometimes if you're trying to play very fast, Chen isn't the best. It's not the worst, but if you're trying to play super fast, I do prefer a hero like Warlock, who just kind of has these reliable spells that are going to enable a hero like Void Spirit or Tusk, right? Putting Shadow Word on an initiator is very powerful. It's a heal and damage, super strong. So yeah, just wanted to play tempo. And at this point, we were pretty set on putting the Warlock into Zeus if possible. Warlock does not like laning into Marcy Enigma. You will just die. So we needed to get the lanes right. That was definitely something I discussed. They go for the Ember, which very reasonable. It's pretty hard for us to chain stun the Ember. I say that, but he actually died a lot this game. RCY had a great game, honestly, so ends up being okay. But I like the Ember pick from there. It's just a solid game. He can buy Mage Slayer, he can buy just Kaya Sanj and be very hard to kill on the map. So yeah, it basically the main reason Ember's good this game is like these heroes scale very well, especially these two. Marcy can as well. He goes Helmed on BKB this game. And Ember can just delay the game. That's the big thing I'd say. He can just delay the game by pushing waves, and if you lack catch, he pushes waves extremely well, which I would say we lack a bit of catch for him until we have Void Spirit Axe. And they go for the Faceless Void, which, yeah, I mean, I would say there's a lot of picks we could go for here in response to Faceless Void. We could have went Medusa. We ended up going for Alk. Other heroes, they ban out the Sven and the Troll, which seemed pretty reasonable. Just heroes that kind of get on top of Void Chain stun him. I feel like the Troll would have been a little hard for us. I don't know. Perhaps that's them kind of like... Actually, okay, I see why they're banning Troll. They think like Troll Warlock is probably one of the only lanes that can play into this, because you need a way to fight back against Bodyguard. So that's definitely why they're banning it out. And maybe Warcry is the same logic, but yeah, I don't know. I actually think PVISION maybe underestimated us as a team, or is just like kind of being lackadaisical, because they're drafting and banning and then didn't even try to like match our lanes. And I actually think that's a big reason that this game played out pretty well for us, because we got the correct lanes. So yeah, that was super big. We go for the Alk. I really like the Alk this game. I think it's pretty good to match up against Faceless Void. A lot of the time, if you get chronoed in the mid game, you're just not gonna die. I think that their burst damage for Alk is just kind of terrible until the late game. Like, it's just not that easy to kill the guy, right? I don't exactly see how it's gonna happen, especially once you pick a Void carry. You just lack damage. So I really like the Alk, and again, it matches what we were trying to do in this game, which is play a very, very fast-paced game. Alk is a very fast-paced carry. This hero can come online at minute 14, 15 when it has a good game with its Blink Radiance timing. And so, yeah, we can play very fast, and their draft cannot. Enigma is a pretty slow hero unless he has a good lane, which he might not this game against the Dawn. Void is not playing fast at all either, and Marcy also can be kind of slow. If her allies are slow, she is super slow. She's only fast-paced if her allies are having really good games. And so, yeah, I felt pretty confident that we'd be able to get off to a good start as long as they didn't outplay us in some interesting way. Gonna go into some of the small details here that I actually think are... This is some really advanced stuff that I'm gonna be talking about here, guys. So take some notes. Take some notes. First thing we do at the beginning of the game is something we don't usually do, but I decided I'm gonna be laning in the offlane this game, and I decided that I don't... It's actually very important, I think, that I don't have to run through the Zeus to block the pole camp. Basically, in the start of the lane, if I have to like come to here and try to run to here to block this camp through Zeus, who's one of the best trading 5s in the game one-on-one, I'm gonna get my ass beat. Warlock does not trade one-on-one much at all. It's very bad at it. Like, even if you skill Shadow Word, you're pretty bad at it. And so I really didn't want to have to interact with the small camp if possible. Not that it's that bad if they pull. Frankly, we can probably just farm it with Acid Spray. If I was laning with Dawn, same thing there. So like, as I was able to snag the rune there, that was actually huge. We would have been 3 for 1 if I didn't get that one. So I had to chat up a little bit there. Bignum got 2 D wards at the start of this game, so kind of things went very well pregame. We got our ward down, got both our wards down, got our sentry down. Zeus nuking me here, but whatever, I super don't care. And at this point, I had a very clear concept this lane. I don't want to trade with Zeus one-on-one, because again, I just lose that. And so instead, I can angle the Fatal Bonds, which I could have even dropped there. Pretty easy, big Fatal Bonds, not too much I can do about it. We mess up on the range creep. We definitely should be securing that together. Either Alk should be using stun, or we should be hitting it at the same time, so they can't deny it. Now here, what's pretty interesting is I have a sentry in my backpack, and so he doesn't think this is blocked. This is all this like super meta TI level stuff. I don't think most people know these types of things, but that's what's going on in my head. That's what's going on in his head. I can tell you that for a fact. He's like, Warlock has a sentry. He has not blocked this camp. He's like, this guy's just not, you know, he's not Chad enough to go block it, or he forgot, or he's late, but it's blocked. And this is massive because again, I can just pressure denies. I don't have to interact with the Zeus, and we're actually doing well, right? We're definitely doing well. We're even on CS. I'm actually ahead on Zeus on HP. Probably on resources as well. Okay, but yeah, I'm ahead on resources. He's eating more tangos than me. No, it's pretty even. Capping a little bit. All right, they got some denies there, which wasn't the best. But either way, lane going pretty chill. Looking for another Fatal Bonds. I think I find it here. So just because it links kind of in a way where it goes like, you kind of just have to see the angle. It just, I don't know. It just links in lines. You know, it has to go like in a straight line. It can't go like, so you just have to see the angle. Get some really good damage on Zeus here. Once I hit a 2-man Fatal Bonds, I'm usually pretty happy to drop Shadow Word, as I accidentally aggroed the wave with Shadow Word there, which was fine, as I unblocked the large camp here. I think this is actually a bad sentry placement, because if he placed a sentry here, he might be able to de-ward mine. So probably should place this sentry on the right side. That's definitely cringe of me. Maybe a bit of a lack of experience, because I'm more of a 5 player. You know, I play in the other lane, but chilling here. Items, I didn't have a stick, which I think was okay. I believe that stick is like not so good against Faceless Void. I mean, it's okay against Zeus. I wouldn't say Zeus is that much of a spammer. You'd think he is, but he's kind of not, honestly. It's really not that good. So I was pretty happy to just pick up raindrops against Zeus, Clarity, and again, continuing to just kind of look for double denies here with my Alk. And okay, I probably didn't have the Fatal Bonds there. Okay, I remember why I Fatal Bonds there. It's because they had a pull camp. So I'm like, let's push the wave so we can fight the pull camp. And he ends up pulling, and honestly, I don't think it's bad at all for us. My Alk ends up getting the majority of the CS here, which is awesome, right? He's getting 29 gold for each of those small creeps. And then I end up coming mid, and I think this is a good read on the game. My Alk is completely fine one-on-one against Void. You know, he's even on CS. Probably going to be ahead after he takes some of these lane creeps. And then this is actually something I might have forgot to do if I hadn't lost the game earlier in the tournament. I played a Chen game earlier in the tournament where I also laned in the offlane, and I forgot to play the runes. I just straight up forgot. I'm going to keep it a stack. It was very low skill on my part. And I remembered this game because of that game. The pain I felt from that game. I'm not kidding. I watched that replay back like multiple times because I was like so upset with myself. And it made a big difference because we end up taking a fight. Gotta put the Shadow Word on my Void Spirit, which is important here. You almost only use it on allies if you have the choice. It's generally used on allies, which makes a big difference here. And the enemy just kind of overestimates their damage. We get some really good clicks. I almost killed my Void Spirit, I think, by not clicking Zeus the second time there, but we get the job done. Obviously, tip no one. Not that I have anything against them. I don't care. I have nothing against almost anyone. It's just like, I think a couple things. Number one, I think it's just entertaining for people. And number two, I actually do think you can generally get in people's heads. Like, most of the time, I think especially when you're the underdog, people don't like messing up against you or losing to you. It's, you know, there's ego involved, of course. And so, as the Zeus actually comes top, so I'm going to come top. And so I think, like, especially when you're an underdog, I don't know, you can get under people's skins. They're like, why is this bot tipping me in this NA trash can? Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fun. Either way, moving on ahead. We come top here. Saw the Zeus TP tops. I know my Alk is probably just in a clean 1v1. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't TP top like this. Go for a deep ward, trying to scout out the Enigma. Considered hitting the gate here because I was afraid that Zeus was going to go back to the lane or they're going to camp out. But decided not to. They ended up killing mid. I'm just going to stay top. Their subs are mid. My Alk, I was afraid my Alk is in danger, but thankfully the ward pays off here. We see the Enigma step up, and that's going to be a very easy kill. This hero is extremely easy to gank. Fatal Bonds on the wave, which wasn't very necessary, but whatever. And the game is going great now. And the main reason the game is going great is because my game is good. And that sounds selfish, but the reality is when you have a Warlock on your team, if his game is good, he'll be able to help you, right? Because I have 4 Black Grimoire charges. right? 4 of them. And so if we're able to get a wisdom rune for me, I'm going to be able to have my ult practically at minute 7, right? Which is huge. I ended up not using it the best, and I'll get into that in a second. That was very frustrating for me this game. I was pretty upset about that. But we're going to fight the wisdom rune. We're very strong. Tusk Warlock, super good in these areas. Right? Shadow Word is just very nasty at this point in the game. As they do end up contesting, gonna just continue to auto-click here. I think him summoning Eidolons was probably bad here. It actually just gave me a significantly better Q, which almost killed the Marcy. Oh no, it did kill the Marcy. Fade hit a really nice Celestial Hammer there. And it's what I talked about. We got the Wisdom, and it gave me another Grimoire charge, which gave me enough XP for ult. And I drop it here, you might be like, oh, it missed the Ember, but I don't care. Really, the big thing I'm trying to do here is just like push him away from me. Now he doesn't get a return kill, which is terrible for his game. This is where I ruin. I'm like, oh, the tower's low, I'm gonna hit it, but just end up feeding my golem, which is so bad. It's so bad. It's actually really bad. Like, I can't stress how bad that actually is, right? If I keep it alive, I can kind of just put it in this area. I could literally put it with Zeus. He could snowball it at this guy, and we could probably kill him. And then we take the tower. So it can, like, mega snowball the game. So I literally feel pain right now talking about it, because in the game I was like, ugh, it was just such a bad read. End up stack pulling the camp as a fight mid happens. Probably should have TP'd to this earlier, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I see it happening here. I don't know why I hesitated so much. I think once the snowball goes that deep, something's probably gonna happen. So yeah, definitely wish I TP'd a bit earlier. Thankfully my team is just like owning here, so wasn't too needed. But like, if I'm here, I super save my Tusk if I put a heal on him. If I put a heal on him and I Fatal Bonds, the Marcy would have died much faster. So yeah, not the best. As I think about Fatal Bonding here, just to poke the Ember, as if that Remnant hit, maybe he would have died. It would have been close. As I think he dies here. No, it's close. Maybe if I put my heal on him, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine, poke. If we hit the Aether Remnant, I mean, it's a really hard Aether Remnant, honestly. I don't expect that one to hit. It's just like, if it does, great. If it doesn't, whatever. We're poking him anyway. But continuing to sit mid here, I would say I was thinking about a couple things in this moment. I was like, okay, I want to stack. I haven't been stacking, which is maybe bad, but at the same time, like, it is good to pressure this Ember, just kind of allow my Void Spirit to have the HP advantage. And the main reason that's impactful is so that we can get the runes in a minute, right? And I was also thinking maybe I need to get a ward for my Alk. He's kind of alone. He doesn't really see much. So I was definitely a bit concerned about his well-being, because his game is great at this point, right? We have a very nice Alk. We have a big lead at this point. Our Void Spirit's a little bit behind, but obviously no big deal. Certainly not massive. As we decide to come top here, again, I think maybe I should have just sat mid. I don't know exactly what my logic was for going top. I think it was like, maybe look to kill this Enigma. Probably also should have popped the smoke at some point just to get down a side lane ward. I definitely feel like we lack a side lane ward. But okay, we're going to take a top rune fight. This was a big turning point in the game. I think, honestly, they just forgot. This is just us having a really good read of the game. We have a Dawnbreaker. We can force some psychotic play. And I hit a nasty Fatal Bonds here. Just explodes the Marcy. Explodes the Eidolon, so they have no way of fighting. And so we get a really, really nice fight. That was huge. 2k lead now. We're feeling good. Probably could be a little bit higher if we executed a bit better in some moments, but triple kill for Fade. Super nice call on the Dawn ulti. Really good from Bignum to just kind of bait there. Because people are just like, they just underestimate you, and they're like, why is this Tusk sprinting into, like, Eidolons, you know? But obviously, we were ready for this moment. Gonna continue to micro my Golem, just kind of put it top. This Golem is extremely strong. I was also trying to bait the Marcy in here. We thought maybe if they went on the Golem, we could kill him. But whatever, don't want to feed it. It's 100 gold. I missed the stack window here. My biggest mistake this game was just missing stack windows. And this happens sometimes when you're playing micro heroes. It's something I'm continuing to work on, just like being better at it. Just being aware of moving my hero while microing. Like, moving my hero to a location and then microing, basically prioritizing my hero and then the units, because I miss a stack here, which is very bad. It's very bad. You know, stacks are super OP, especially when you have an alchemist, heroes like that. So that was not great. Come top. This was a bit of a weird moment in the game. I misplayed a little. I'll go through my thought process here. So basically, they're collapsing on top. We're not that strong yet because we don't have Radiance. We don't have Donald. This is why they're forcing the play. We also don't have Rock. So they're kind of like trying to bait us into this bad fight. I hit a Fatal Bonds here, and I honestly thought in this moment we were going to commit to the play and maybe even TP in Void Spirit. So, and we didn't communicate this properly. It's not like he said he was going to TP. It was just an assumption. again, it's not me flaming RCY, it's just me saying what was going through my head. And so I'm like, okay, maybe we'll go in. I got a decent bonds. I'm going to put my Shadow Word on Enigma. But once I get queued by Marcy, I know I'm in a bad spot. Thankfully, there's nothing for her to jump off of initially. And so I get to kind of create a lot of space. But we still kind of don't TP on Void Spirit or Alk. And at this point, it's probably just bad. If we're going to bother being here at all, we need to bring the numbers. Because, yeah, we don't bring Void Spirit fast at all. I end up not getting off my second Shadow Word, which is very impactful. This is a very strong ability at level 7. And the fact that I don't get off a second Shadow Word and I die first as Warlock is super bad. So yeah, I think this is a pretty big team mistake. We're probably overestimating how strong they are. In my opinion, I do feel that... Nice cancel on the Black Hole. I do feel that we're probably overestimating them there in this fight. Because frankly, the Void is not strong. Marcy is buying some crap 9-class items. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, this guy has a freaking crown. He doesn't have phase boots. He's no magic wand, no raindrops. Bro is a bot. He's a literal bot. Bro's got a crown. Like, we can definitely fight them. So the fact that this fight was close was definitely kind of a mega grief to the game. I think if we play that engagement correctly, we probably win the game. I'm going to be real. It's a big turning point in the game where they're, like, behind by kind of a lot, and they're able to win a fight. We end up taking another engagement top here, kind of same vein where we still feel strong. I think I get a decent Fatal Bonds here. It was okay, not the best. But whatever. We defend the tower, continue to keep the tower alive, which is pretty impactful. It's a lot of space for Alk when we can do this, which is definitely nice. A lot of space for Alk. Just gonna heal up the Dawnbreaker here. As looking for a D-Ward. Wisdom Runes coming up too. Healing up Dawn a bit more. Going for a Solar Crest this game. Just, you know, they have Eidolons, Sleight of Fist, Marcy, and Faceless Void. So it's good enough. Probably could have also bought Drums. Would have been a good Drums game as well. As we decide to walk mid here, I don't know what happened here. I have no clue. I got a really good Fatal Bonds. This was a nasty Fatal Bonds, and RCY saw the moment and put a Shadow Word on the Ember as well. He just underestimates how much damage we do. I faked the rock here. I think I didn't realize that this was his Remnant. I should have just rocked him immediately, because he's actually in some horrible spot here. He actually is just dead. He had a haste, which is the only reason this was close. I should have rocked him immediately. Ended up clipping him. Would have been sad if he lived. That would have been cringe. Obviously, that's a free tip and a, hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Speedier voice line. I mean, that's free. That's a no-brainer, frankly. But yeah, I mean, that's the power of Warlock, and that's what I'm kind of talking about with the tempo of this hero. You sort of just like, if you find someone on a creep wave, and especially 2 heroes, shout out to Callis. If you find someone on a creep wave, they kind of just explode, or at least take a lot of damage, because that ate through an entire maxed out Flame Guard. Keep in mind, he has a max Flame Guard, and he's dying. So that was a huge moment in the game. Now we have a 7k lead, so plays like that I definitely think is where I'm making my big moments. I think like the Wisdom Rune sequence where I'm, have a lot of book charges is huge. I think the early game Sentry Ward on the small camp was big for this game. That moment was probably the biggest of the game, just kind of getting a nice kill on Ember. Really catapults RCY heavily above the Ember, which is obviously massive. Now we can continue to find kills, and this is where Alok has Blink, right? So he can continue to find moments in this game, eventually, and we can keep playing fast. So this is where PVISION is in an elite team. It's going to be really hard to kind of shut them down and find our major moment, because they're really good at split pushing. They're very, very good at it. Thankfully, Warlock is extremely good at dealing with this style of play as our ward. I think I placed this one. I don't remember who placed it, but well, the Zeus Bolt barely misses, I guess. Or he just couldn't see the hill because he was on the low ground. I'm not sure. But he misses the ward. That ends up setting up for a pretty... oh, no, we don't kill Zeus. Okay, we should have killed him there. There was some misexecution for sure. But because the ward stayed up, I actually saw him place the ward here. And those types of D wards are really massive, right? Where you just have a deep ward, so you kind of get the jump. You get to see them place their ward. And then we smoke through the gate here. This was a nice little move. They have no vision around the map because we have the significant lead and we got that D ward. And so we're able to get this really, really nice smoke, kind of flank behind them. We were hoping to find Enigma, I think, but we end up bumping an Ember, which usually is kind of bad. But his Remnant was in a very inconvenient position. It was actually very close to where he was standing. A bit of a misplay, I want to say, from no one. And yeah, I ended up rocking here. I thought he was going to Remnant, but a nice 8th Remnant from RCY pulled him away. So it ends up not being necessary. and we kill him off before he even gets off the Aether Remnant. He was dead regardless, but yeah, another nice little sequence from us. At this point, do I not place a ward here? Okay, this is probably... I guess there's a ward here. I don't know. I probably should place a ward either on the gate, like here, or here, or here, because they're going to split push. Once you have a very significant lead like this, people are mode split push, especially when it's Helm Dom, Helm Dom, Helm Dom. This guy should have bought a Helm Dom. Like, once there's 3 Helm Doms and you're this far ahead, they're not going to fight you. So I really wish I just kind of placed that type of ward. And then, I don't know, we kind of get cornered. I should probably just kill the wave here. I was letting my Dawn take it, but I should probably just kill the wave, kill the next wave, and continue to progress. I think our map statement here is just, like, mega cringe. We're 8k ahead. I mean, I think we're a little bit scared because, like, I used Rock, but, like, Rock's kind of whatever at this point in the game. We didn't have Donald, so, like, maybe we're a little afraid, but it's probably just cringe. I should, like, just nuke the waves. If I die, I die. Progress them, and then we should get to the gate. We should be playing gates at this point of the game. I should have a ward, like, here. We should be playing this ward, probably a ward here or on the gate, maybe even a ward here, and then be stepping up. The fact that we're so far back on the map when we're ahead like this is definitely terrible. Like, the Marcy is such a bot at this point of the game. Like, and again, this is not, when I say these things, it has nothing to do with 9 class. Like, if I was him, I would also be useless at this point. It's just an objective read on what is the power level of their hero. So we end up progressing. Finally, we get to the gates. We're going to take the Torm. It's good that we didn't give this up, at least, as I get the shard, which sucks. It's definitely not the best. It's way better on Tusk, I'd say. Tusk shard is quite good. It's upgraded ice shards. As we smoke, we kind of do some double gate. I think we decided to play their wisdom here, which is fine. I think we get double wisdom, which is definitely fine. We kill off the Zeus. Chill. Double wisdom. Very good. When you have a lead like this, getting double wisdom is just a nice way to continue to cleanly progress your game. So we have some nasty XP lead. The only thing that's keeping them in the game is obviously this Faceless Void is like beyond farm. Which, you know, Satanic, he's just a consistent player. You know, when you play at this high level, if you don't play super clean, these guys are just going to have some nasty timings. That's what a lot of these top teams like playing for. The hyper carries, you know. Not all of them, but a lot of them, right? And you know you're not on the clock per se. I'm not that afraid of the Void 1v9ing. We have some good answers to him. We have my ult. Alk is just a fine matchup. Dawn ulti is quite good, as we find a nice little kill on the Enigma here. Super well done by Bignum to catch the Enigma. We decide to go for Roche, which I think is fine. It's probably not that good. I think in hindsight, if I was to replay this game, I would ask us to just like spam the gates and just control the side lanes, because they have to split push and they're kind of getting, you can see, like they're kind of getting too much out of the map. I think my wards are just a bit bad. Like there should probably be a ward somewhere in here, here, here. And just like, because if you look at what they're going to do this game, and I know this, I just like, you know, maybe it's a bit of nerves, just forgetting, I don't know. But it's just going to be like people running like this and like this because they're losing. And there's no farm like here. And so everyone migrates to like here, right? Does that make sense? And so, yeah, probably bad wards. Could be better there. It's going to look to push a mid wave, just Fatal Bonds W, nice. Upside of Warlock, you're really good at pushing waves. As I queue up a Helm Dom here. And the reason why is they were split pushing so hard. But again, I think in hindsight, I probably don't need it. It's not that it's bad. I'm going to get good value out of it. It's also pretty nice on Warlock. You can put the W on the creep and farm camps. It actually is very practical. I've done it in pubs twice, funny enough. But at the same time, I don't think I need it that much. I can probably just buy a Glimmer. I can probably just buy an Aether and be able to, you know, follow up with my spells a bit better, use Upheaval more conveniently. I could probably just buy drums. We have Tag Team. We have, yeah, just Tag Team is really good to have drums with. So I don't think I super need it. It's not that it's bad. Again, I can, you know, put the W on the creep and push waves very aggressively. Like I can farm this camp, kill this wave. But it's not, I don't think it's that necessary, even though it will make me very high level and very farmed over time. I'll push this tower. Get an Aegis. Yeah, I think we just don't play side lanes enough. We should, because basically, if you look at their perspective, they're just going to go alone constantly. They're probably not even backing each other up most of the time. And so if I'm just a Giga Chad, placing a billion sentries around the gates and like being backed up by Donald and like a +1, I don't think there's that much they can do about it, but I'm a little scared. I'm probably a bit too scared. And I think that maybe applies to my whole team, at least a little, but definitely probably me the most, because I have the sentries and the wards as I buy a gem. And at this point of the game, I think we don't think we can go high ground yet. So we're just trying to continue to build our lead. But I do feel like it's not building as much as it should. I'm going to stop repeating myself, but you get why at this point. As they find a kill on our Void Spirit, that was a good moment from them. Just a nice little rune pick-off. So well played to them. As we unfortunately kind of get pushed back into our base because of that. But it's fine. Using the Helm Dom to try to progress the top wave, which I think is pretty good. Just kind of sending it up the lane to make sure that they can't push our tier 2 in this moment is pretty nice, right? And that's a big advantage of Helm Dom. Basically, even if you lose engagements or you're losing the game, you can take creeps and just kind of like stall the game, right? Heavily stall the game. It's also just another broken thing about this item, just buying it casually on subs, is that you can just send it around. Okay, this is pretty bad micro. You can kind of just send it around and scout areas. Like I can just send it up hills and give info. As we find the Void here, I think we actually kill him. Probably don't perfect the chain stun. Oh, what a bash. I remember that bash. I was like, oh, let's go. That was such a nice bash. We definitely messed up the chain stun a bit. I mean, obviously, Marcy being pretty strong against our comp, you can see it there. As I TB bottom here, I kind of just immediately identify that I want to progress away. This was a hype moment in the game. Because number one, I'm dragging top wave with my Helm Dom to my Dawnbreaker to, you know, make sure he gets all the farm. It was a stacked wave, so like, look at my Dawn's net worth. I don't know, I love stacking waves. Bro gets like 600 gold or something. Insta, so much gold. Yeah, and then I get gun on top. They're like, what is this bot doing? The Warlock's just like running down the lane. They're jumping on my ass, you know, but it was funny. Fade's like, my refresher's coming on courier. Buy time. I'm like, all right, brother. I'm buying time. We pop the solar, we pop the heal, we pop the essence ring. This guy dies. We find a nice little chain stun onto the Ember. Super well played for my team. That's obviously a billion voice lines coming out. And now at this point, we're feeling good, you know? We're like, all right, we are definitely very ahead. I am nearly the same net worth as both of their subs, partially because of the Helm Dom. Not really too much, but, you know, this item's definitely good. I queue up an Aether. Whenever I'm really high level, I like buying Aether, primarily because it lets you use Upheaval with the 15 talent very effectively. It's pretty hard to use Upheaval without Aether Lens. It's just like a shit cast range. Also, I like buying Glimmer of Force next, and Aether Lens super enables those items. So to me, it's kind of just this like natural progression when I'm having a good game. That's how I see it. So we drag some waves with the Helm Dom. Gonna take another creep. Take the camp quick. Probably just send it mid here. At this point, I think we're just setting up for Roche. As I'm dragging some of the mid waves here, just to, again, I'm going to stack it up and then I'll have someone farm it eventually. Deny the rune, which is invis, not too impactful, but whatever, it's something. At this point, I'm just dragging the mid wave because we were looking to Roche. As unfortunately, I do feed away another 100 gold, but it's not too bad. Especially at this point of the game, like, the general map impact is better, as my Void Spirit gets to farm up a triple wave, which again is very, very good for his game. And we're going to take Roche. Upheaval attack speed, send another creep top. Probably didn't have to do it too much here because my Dawnbreaker's in the area. But it's okay. Like, basically the advantage of stacking the wave like that is my Dawn has to show for less time, right? So it's easier for her to play. It's less info. It's definitely fine. I wouldn't say it was super high impact what I did there, but it's fine. Okay, we find a pick off on Enigma here. And at this point, we definitely wanted to try to force a major fight. We are obviously super far ahead. Unfortunately, the enemy faceless Void is almost level 25, which I think he has when we go on him in the bot lane. If you guys were watching the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, they kill off Tusk, but whatever. It's kind of a whatever death. Definitely doesn't matter. We should be able to progress the waves pretty aggressively here. As Alk finds a Zeus kill, we find an Alpha Wolf, and this was really nice. I found this Alpha Wolf, and I knew we probably wanted to go high ground here. So there's a couple of issues with what we do here. We end up going high ground, but we don't have Alcohol. I think it's fine for him to poke. Because he has Aegis, just kind of hit the building a bit. You have an AC, you have Aegis, we have a banner, but we probably committed a bit too hard. However, this Wolf, super high impact here, right? AC plus Wolf is like really strong. I mean, these cards are hitting nasty hard, right? We're like killing the building with very, very little. I mean, and unfortunately we make this big go, but it was without Alculty. Also, we have 5k gold on Dawnbreaker. It's kind of just one of those plays where, I don't know, we have like 5k gold, 5k gold. I think in hindsight, we're just cringing out. It's not like this Void is going to get that much stronger soon. He's capped on items. Like, the reality is this guy's capped very soon. He's practically capped now. I mean, the Satanic is massive, but he's basically capped. Alk is actually not capped whatsoever because he can give Ags to Void Spirit, Ags to Dawnbreaker, Ags to Tusk, Moonshard. Like, he's not that capped, especially because of the Ags giving. They're not going to out-farm us. Like, when we're this far ahead, there's no way they can play the map. So I think in hindsight, this is probably just bad. It looks kind of good because it's like we almost kill Void and we'd win the game. Like, this guy does not have buyback for sure, and we kind of know that because he's just casually holding a Reaver. I'll show this play in free camera. So a couple things that happen. So I think the big thing is we don't have Alk ulti, so we're just lacking damage. We probably stack our stuns a bit. We go in with Void Spirit. We stack, we just don't even have Aether Remnant. We punch, Snowball, Chainstone to Donald. This one was obviously pretty good. Gets jumped away. The Alk stun comes out. He actually could have BKB'd there. I watched this back. He could have BKB'd. And then Marcy, with her Q, barely helps him live. And obviously there's some small things as well that happen here that are probably a big game losing. So it's tough. I mean, looking at team fights like this is just tough because the reality is there's just so much shit going on. So it's like easy to mess up. So from my perspective, I think my big mistake is I golem here, which I think was not necessary for the chain stun at all. I get a really nice Fatal Bonds, that was fine. But I shouldn't use Golem. I should be holding it for Black Hole cancel. Because right here, he's going to Black Hole. And that Black Hole, it actually cancels our second Donald by literally 0.1 second. And if I cancel the Black Hole here, I'm pretty sure they won't kill us. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Maybe the Void would have even died. So my Golem was definitely mega shit here. And it definitely fucked up quite a bit. I mean, my Void Spirit gets super low because of it. My Alk kind of gets stuck. The Void wouldn't have been able to chrono quick enough. So it's a bit of a shame. Just a lot of small stuff going on. But the game gets pretty hard after this because we throw most of our net worth lead. We're barely ahead at this point, and now it gets pretty hard to team fight because they complete some big items. The Marcy has like a nullifier. This guy is like mega giga capped. I guess he sold boots, so there's that. It's just a big throw, obviously. Dawnbreaker, he's still holding 5k gold. I think Fade bought an Andisk, which he probably didn't have to buy, in my opinion. Probably could just be like a Hex or just, I don't know, some bonus damage item. I don't exactly know, but it's pretty hard to scale when we commit to the mid-game items. Like this Aeon is kind of mid-game. This, he has like a Vessel. I guess this guy also has a Vessel, but like it's Faceless Void and Enigma. I don't think the Enigma is like that scary. Like if you look at his items, it's not that easy for this guy to have some mega impact, like at all, in my opinion. I really don't think he's that strong because we have two ways of canceling Black Hole. It's really just this Faceless Void he's on his Omega timing, and so is Marcy. The Marcy is much stronger than either of our supports, like by kind of a lot, and so there's a big gap there. We'd have to execute very, very well at this point. And yeah, this team fight is just going to be a little hard. They poke our Alk ulti immediately and his BKB. He's in a pretty bad spot at this point. Drop the Solar to try to help him out. He's pretty fine. Dawnbreaker ulti, but the reality is we just can't, unless we perfectly chain stun Void, we kind of just can't kill him. I have some decent positioning here to try to save the Alk, as I late Golem because I wanted to use it like if I thought he was actually going to die. But I mean, it's kind of just cooked at this point. This fight is just hard. We end up recommitting here, which I think was pretty bad. I mean, I don't think we're actually going to get some key kills. So yeah, I mean, that's basically the end of the game. They end up taking us out. So I think either we can execute that high ground siege a bit better, but I think in reality, if I was to play it back, I think if we were to play it back, we just wouldn't go high. We wouldn't commit to the high ground there. We can easily just take the building back off, farm up 2 Ags with Alk, continue to look for a major pick off, take the next Roche, which has like Refresher for, Void Spirit or something like that. Just force them to take a fight outside of the base, which is going to be significantly less favorable for them. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. That was fun. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.